And she came.
It is 5:02 p.m. This is the agenda of the regular meeting of the Board of Directors, RGC-4B, EDC. Today is Wednesday, May the 3rd, 2023, and we're in Commissioner's Chambers, City Hall. Item 1, invocation and pledge of allegiance. I'll ask Mrs. Perez for the invocation and Commissioner Escobedo for pledge of allegiance.
Please bow your heads. Our dear Heavenly Father, we praise you and we thank you for our many blessings. We ask you to be with all of us during this meeting as we make decisions, and with all of our businesses and families in Rio Grande City. Be with everyone in these upcoming weeks and months as travel begins, for college kids coming home from school and all of the travel that will occur over the summer. Bless all of our law enforcement, our military. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Thank you, Commissioner. Moving on to item number 2 on the agenda, roll call, minimum quorum. Ms. Solis?
Yes. Mr. Ramirez?
Present.
Ms. Perez?
Present.
Dr. Margo?
He won't make it.
Mr. Escobedo?
Present.
Mr. Villarreal?
He'll be coming in later.
Ms. Flores? Is absent.
Oh, she's not going to make it.
Mr. De Leon?
Present.
We have quorum.
Thank you so much. Item 3, public forum. Ms. Solis, anybody sign up for public forum at this time?
No, sir, nobody's signed
Okay, very good. If not, we'll move on to item number 4. Approval of minutes from the previous meetings. Give you all a few minutes to look over those if you need to. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I so move.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. If everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 5, financial report. Ms. Guillen?
Yes. In your packet, you'll find the expenditure report of expenses as of April 30th, 2023. As you know, our budget year began October 1st and ends at the end of September. We're currently at, this report shows us at 58.33% of the fiscal year. You'll see the revenues for sales taxes that have come in, as well as the expenditures that we have made throughout this fiscal year. We do have a sales tax report. This reflects the deposits that came in April, and that is on page 16 of 114. And year to date, we have we've increased 37%, right? Is it a 37?
Yes, 37.
I don't know if you have any questions regarding the sales tax, but we continue to see extremely good numbers in our sales tax revenue. Leonel and I spoke about it a little earlier. I think we're starting to see $400,000 coming in a month on average, except for that first month of the fiscal year. So we're doing very well. And we weren't that far off in that one payment. It was $395,000. We were $5,000 away from the $400,000 mark.
I don't think we've seen a negative percentage since it's been a couple of years. I think it's been positive, so it's a good thing. I think we continue to grow, and people are staying home and Rio to shop, so that's positive. So thank you for the report. Anybody have any questions or any comments about this financial report? If not, we'll move on to item number 6 on the agenda. Discussion and possible action to approve a Main Street facade grant for Jose Luis Munoz Diaz at 603 East 2nd Street. Ms.
Yes, Mr. Munoz Diaz is here with us today. Buenas tardes. He'll be able to tell us a little bit about his project. He's the owner of Fabi's Embroidery on 2nd Street in downtown Rio Grande City. ¿Le quiere pasar, Mr. Diaz?
Pásale, Mr. Díaz, para que nos dé un poquito de información sobre el negocio, el facade que quieren hacer ahí.
Sí, por favor.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Gracias por haberme recibido, gracias por su presencia. Mi negocio fue abierto aquí en el 2006, es un negocio familiar. Nos basamos básicamente en el servicio de bordado y pintura, servimos a escuelas y aquí a la comunidad. Y con el paso del tiempo hemos notado que como que se ha estado rezagando nuestro negocio. Traigo fotos de lo que es hoy y lo que pretendemos, no sé si se las paso.
On page 28 of your packet, you will see the current facade at Fabi's Embroidery.
Es la propuesta que traemos. Queremos darle una forma muy similar al building que tenemos al lado, que es el de Joe Álvarez. Así que se ve como antiguo. Y reemplazar las tablas que están, porque ya están bien podridas.
Sí.
Y eso es la idea que tenemos.
El techo ahí que van a componer, ¿va a ser de madera o va a ser de otro tipo de...?
Es de frame y va zarpeado, lleva el estuco y básicamente, y queríamos que no están ahí pintados.
Está en este.
Sí.
An awning. It's not on that one, but it's in the...
Sí.
Page 1.
Sí. Sí, el acabado es estuco y abajito, la parte de abajo es como un ladrillito.
Sí, sí, sí.
Sí,
Okay.
como rústico. Sí, esa es la idea que traemos.
Do they need to go through the historical commission to get permission?
Yes, so they still require a certificate of appropriateness. No, actually, their certificate of appropriateness has been approved.
Okay.
So that the only thing that I see in their application that is still pending is a certificate of occupancy. But outside of that, their project has been reviewed and approved by the local historic commission.
So is it ready for us to take action, just
Yes.
pending the certificate of occupancy?
Correct.
And how much are they requesting?
But that certificate is not...
The certificate of occupancy is required for any business that is open, but there are some businesses that opened prior to the city.
Oh, I see.
And so
Okay.
they may not have a certificate
Right.
of occupancy. When we did grants through the COVID grants, we had some businesses that came forward requesting a grant, and they were businesses from way back when that had opened up shop and didn't have this certificate. They went ahead and they applied for it. It's a $45 charge for that permit. They come out and they do an inspection of the site. Granted, there's some properties that because of their age and because of their location will be grandfathered into some of those restrictions that we might have. Downtown has a lot of flexibility because it's a historic district, so his property right now is in the historic district, so they have a lot of leeway in certain things like ADA, for example, because the building was already in place.
Sure.
So, but I've already talked to the planning office about this project, and so we would just go ahead and work with them to get them a certificate of occupancy.
Very good. Are there any questions from Mr. Solis? Or Díaz, I'm sorry, at this time? Mr. Díaz, ¿cuánto dijo desde 2006 tiene que abrió ahí? ¿Y cómo le ha ido en su negocio? Está...
Sobrevivimos.
Qué bueno.
Ahí vamos,
Qué bueno.
ahí vamos.
Okay. Muchas gracias por estar aquí presente y por aplicar por este grant y ahorita le tomamos el voto a ver cómo sale.
Gracias.
Gracias a usted.
Gracias por su servicio a nuestra comunidad.
Por tantos años.
Okay, at this time I'll entertain a motion to approve item 6 as presented.
I so move.
Got a motion?
I'll second that.
Second. Everybody in agreement signify by raising your right hand. Against, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. Felicidades, Mr. Solís. Díaz, I'm sorry. No sé por qué digo Solís. Díaz. Muñoz Díaz, muchas gracias por estar aquí presente y lo felicito. Se aprobó el grant de usted este día.
Muchas gracias.
Yes, sir. I'll move on to item number 7 on the agenda. Discussion and possible action to approve a Main Street facade grant for Claudia Horrigan. Horrigan, yes, I think I pronounced it correctly, at 101 North Flores Street.
And I don't see Ms. Horgan in the room.
But she did present to us at our last meeting. That was Clay Designs.
Yes, I recall her presentation, yes.
She did indicate, though, that she would be here, so.
Okay, we can come back, circle back around, give her a little bit of time, maybe she's stuck in traffic. We'll come back to item 7 in a minute, if y'all don't mind. We'll skip item 7, we'll go to item number 8 on the agenda. Discussion and possible action to approve a Main Street facade grant for Francisco J. Puente at 512 East Main Street. Ms. Guillen?
Yes, so Mr. Puentes is seeking assistance to fund improvements that will beautify the exterior of the building he's currently occupying on Main Street, and Mr. Puente is here with us. Frank, would you like to tell us about your project? Oh, it's not a speech.
Yeah, just give us a little bit
Just
of
come up
update.
here. Yeah, just tell us what you're planning.
Mostly it's window vinyl, the perforated window vinyl. So there's 2 windows and then some coral glass signs in the top of the windows were on the building.
If you turn to your packet on page 68, you will see the illustration that he has provided. This project still requires a certificate of appropriateness, so you will go through Mr. Milan's procedures to getting this project approved by them. But it is window enhancement, and this is what he has proposed to do with permission from his landlord.
So the landlord has already given permission for him to apply for this grant and do any type of improvements to that building?
Correct.
Okay. And do we have anything in writing from that property owner?
She did sign off on his application.
Okay.
So her signature is, where did I see it?
The application is complete again? You mentioned something was missing?
The certificate of appropriateness. He still needs to get permission from the city's historic preservation
okay.
committee.
She's on page 60.
Is it on 60?
Yes.
There we go. Ms.
Okay.
Gonzalez
Ms. Gonzalez, okay. She's
signed
the
on
owner.
March 28th.
This is across from the old house of Ralph,
Okay.
across that side street.
Are there any questions, any other questions or comments at this time? And the grant for this would be for how much, Ms. Guillen? So
It
5
is,
or 10?
So the grant is up to 5,000, and it's a matching grant. So it's up to 5,000, and it's a
Okay.
50% match. So depending on what he spends and reports as reimbursement, that'll determine what is paid.
Okay. Very good. There are no more questions or comments this time. I'll entertain a motion at this time.
So move that we approve.
We got a motion by Ms. Perez.
Second.
Second, Commissioner over there. And so at this time, signify by raising your right hand. Okay, against the same motion. Motion passes. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Frank.
Moving on to item number 9 on the agenda, Main Street project updates. Ms. Guillen?
Yes, I'm first happy to announce our new Main Street coordinator, Yandere de la Cruz. She's a Mission native, but has made Rio Grande City her home for the past 17 years. She's previously worked over at RGC-GISD, and she's been with us for a little over a month now and has really hit the ground running with this program, and we're excited to have her. Welcome, Yandere, to the Rio Grande City EDC, the City of Rio Grande City, and to your first EDC meeting.
Yes,
you.
welcome. You want to say a few words at this time?
Well, I would just like to thank all of you all for the opportunity. And I'm very happy working here with everyone.
Okay, you've been with us for a month, more or less?
A little bit over, I think so.
Okay. How are
6
things
weeks,
going?
7 weeks.
You like your job?
I do. I'm liking it. I'm learning, but I'm enjoying it.
That's the main thing, enjoying your job and doing a good job helping the city stand out and shine.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for your service, ma'am.
So she'll give you a little recap of what's coming up on the Main Street, because she has been busy and
Okay.
had her hands full. I noticed that you're here representing the advisory board, correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you want to tell us what you have lined up? I know that in your packet you have 3 flyers in here, preservation dinner this month, as well as market days and our Fallen Heroes ceremony. Yandere, you want to tell us a little bit about
Yes,
that?
that is correct, yes. The Rio Grande City Main Street program is currently working on market days. We have made a few changes, and this event is to be held on Saturday, May 20th at Britton Avenue Kiosco from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Flyers have been made and we have been distributing them. We are sharing it on social media and working on posting it on the time prior as well. We have been signing up new vendors. 20 vendors have already signed up as for now. We are expecting to have a live band as well. Porta potties and wash stations have been reserved for this event as well. The upcoming downtown market days have also been set for the remainder of the year. Another project we have been working on is the Preservation Month celebration dinner to be held on Thursday, May 11th at the Lopez Tijerina Courtyard. We began distributing invitations for that event earlier today, and we will continue to do so for the remainder of the week. And lastly is the planning of the Memorial Day ceremony to be held Thursday, May 25th at 9 a.m. at the Britton Avenue Kiosco. Mr. Mark Olivares confirmed his availability, and we are currently in search of a guest speaker for that event.
Thank you, Yandere.
Very good, thank you so much for the report.
Thank
Any questions
you,
for
and
Ms.
we hope-
Yandere this time?
No, just welcome to the family.
Thank you,
You mentioned,
appreciate it.
Ms. Yandere, you mentioned also the market days, that's going to take place on May the 20th, and from what time to what time?
From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're changing it up a little because I believe they were doing it earlier, but we want to change it up to see the
Yeah, and that was
difference.
going to be my comment to you, because I've heard from other vendors that have attended that market days, and they were a little concerned that maybe we didn't promote it enough. They just didn't have a lot of traffic go by, so maybe we need to find some ways to make it better.
I know they posted it earlier today, and I received at least 5 calls after
Okay.
that post, yes. So five of those are new after the post.
Okay,
And they have relocated this event from the current location at Washington Street to Britton Avenue to have more
Correct.
exposure.
more exposure.
Correct.
They
That'll help.
also have some plans to bring in some live entertainment, to have a little bit of music, to kind of make it lively and fun. And I know that the Main Street Advisory Board has plans to be there and host and give out, refreshments and welcome those shoppers into Britton Avenue. So I think they have a pretty good plan for this May. And of course, the dates continue in June, July through December. There are plans that they've talked about having it in the evening, but we're not ready to announce those yet. But there will be possibly 1 to 2 evening events to kind of change it up a little bit, but we're gonna hit the ground on this one, May 20th. So you are encouraged to come out and support this event and support our local vendors. It's really important that they see our community leaders there. So make it a point, if you can, to swing by and say hello and shop local.
Shop local. Very good. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yes, thank you for the
Thank you,
information.
Yandere.
At this time, we'll circle back to item number 7 on the agenda, the discussion of possible action to approve a Main Street facade grant for Claudia Hargan at 101 North Florida Street. Ms. Guillen?
Yes, Ms. Hargan was here for public forum at our last meeting, told us a little bit about our project at Café Mexico. She's seeking assistance to fund improvements that will further enhance the building's exterior. Ms. Hargan, do you mind coming up and telling us about your upcoming project?
Sure, no problem. This time I did bring a PowerPoint, but I'm not sure. I got here a little late. I apologize, so I'm not sure you guys will be able to see it. However, I can go around and show you some of the pictures of what we've done. So far, the building has had a lot of construction renovation, right? And I'm happy to say that this past week or so, past 2 weeks, Mr. Milan has been wonderful in helping us and supporting us. So we have electricity finally.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I have my truck full right now because we're gonna go in, I brought a lot of equipment so we can put up ceiling fans and light fixtures and all this kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at as far as with the building. I'm getting ready to do the exterior. And this is the exterior, the front of the building, in case you all are not familiar with the front of the building. It's right on Main Street.
How old is that building, Ms. Hargan?
It goes back, I think, into like,
1800s?
I'm not sure. I don't really know how far back, I'd have to do research on that. But this is the front of it right now. There's been a lot of vandalism, you know, the vandals got in
We
there.
spoke about that.
So there was a lot of problems with that. But I wanted to show you from where I first walked in there. You see the trees and everything that were there in the patio area?
We might be able to connect you, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can just hook it up here, and I can show everybody. Let me go back to the picture now. Perpendicular. This side.
There it is. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Okay, so that's Cafe Mexico. It's right on Main Street, right in front of COD Auto Parts. I'm sure y'all are familiar with the building.
Yes.
If you notice the side right here, how it had a whole bunch of brick, it was on a brick foundation, and then you could access every entry point from those bricks. At one point, the city, I think, assisted, so the side entrances are now different, okay? But when I walked in, this is what I saw. It used to be a beautiful place. It used to have a stage over here on this other side. Where you see the arch on this other picture with the mural, there's where the band would play, and you know, it was very festive. Back towards that main arch in the middle, that was the bar area. So yeah, this was it at one point where we had to demolish and redo. That's why I didn't want anybody going in there. It was extremely dangerous to be in there. So we've done a lot of cleanup. There's still somewhat to go, but so far we've cleaned up all that main area. We've done repairs to a lot of the columns because they were collapsing. The top areas, those murals that you see are original murals to the building.
Oh, wow. They
So
look great.
some of them are being saved, some of them have completely faded. This is the inside, and you can see, this is the upstairs of the building. So we've gone from completely no roof, nothing like that, the floors were all rotted, and it already has new floors on the top, new roof, things like that. Okay, this is the grand room. It's the room that you can see from Main Street, where it's right on that corner where the street light is. Okay, that's the grand room. At one point when we walked in, yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. It's a lot of concrete, a lot of those bricks were falling from the ceiling. That's the roof that I was telling you that it was completely made out of brick and blocks. So they were falling down. You know, on just there on the floor. That's the grand room now. So it's got a new ceiling. The windows on that side of the wall, which is the one that's facing Main Street, we're still working on it. The floor's been completely redone. And it still needs to be final, for it to have hardwood floors or whatever it is we're going to be doing with that area. This is the outside bar area. This is on Floyd Street, I believe. So at one point, again, it didn't have a roof, completely destroyed, things like that. It's been cleaned up, repaired. The safe that everybody, the famous safe that everybody talks about, that that everybody wanted to break into the building for, is right there on the corner. The other one is in the grand room. I just need to take a picture of it. This is what I've been working on just recently. So at the very beginning when I first went, it was a grass area. During demolition, when they took off the roof to the grand room, those were the bricks that were on the roof. And then now we kind of made a little patio area there.
That's very nice. Nice.
This is recently discovered. I didn't even know that mural was there on the outside. So my sister that had been there, she was sending me these pictures and she's like, look, those murals are there. Hopefully when we do the exterior, we can go ahead and bring them out again. This is going to be the color palette that I'm looking for towards the exterior, which is pretty much what it had at the beginning. Okay, I think the yellow on the building was a lot stronger than what it actually is now, but I'm going to go with the paler colors.
That's pretty.
And this part of the building, the exterior, of course, we still need to work on all the windows, the doors, but around that main entrance, it was kind of a silver color, so I'm going more towards the lighter colors in that area. So, if you can notice the rails on there, that's what was put in with the renovation. Okay, so, it's come a long way. It's got a whole brand new roof, you know?
Yes, you can see
The bathrooms have been completely redone. I didn't have pictures of those, so I didn't put those. But, I'll get more pictures and put something together for next time as well.
Is that a sign by the door, on top of the door?
Yeah. a vacancy.
Yes,
So-
I really would like to redo that one because I remember when I was little, it would light up, you know, and it had lights on it, and it was an open sign.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
so that was the main entrance into the restaurant bar.
So what are the plans for the building? Is it
I'm
bar,
still waiting.
restaurant, or
Okay,
we're
see,
still?
that's where we were at last time, because if you notice, it had that brick walkway. Anybody could access the building with that brick walkway. Since we did remodel, we're having a problem here with these areas where the stairs are. If you see the stairs on either end, and then you go to another entrance, and it's got stairs on either end, so it's really not handicap accessible. Before it was, and now it's really not. So that's like I was telling you guys, you know, that I was willing to work with the city. I mean, whatever we can do is fine. I appreciate anything. Okay. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So if I get funds from the city, right, to be able to finish the repair, here's where the funds would go.
You've already done a lot of work on that building, Ms. Oregon, so again, congratulations on that. It looks
Yeah.
beautiful. I mean, compared to what it looked before, I mean, it's amazing what you guys have done.
And that debris and all of that stuff that has been removed from the building, we have been working to help and assist through our core project with the containers. So I know there's been several containers that have been filled and disposed with that material. So we've been helping with the interior cleanup of it as well.
Yeah, Mr. Milan has been very much involved. Miss Sarah, I can't remember Miss Sarah's last name.
It's right there.
Thank you. Of course, yourself, thank you very much. You know, but yeah, I've received a lot of support from the city. Like, I mean, really, thank you. Thank you. So on that last little piece before I actually start investing a lot more to make it, you know, all the details on the inside and things like that. So that's where we're at with the Cafe Mexico.
Well, congratulations. It looks great. Looks
Thank you
fantastic.
so much. Love to see the historical preservation.
Sure, absolutely. All of the murals, I mean, I'm trying to preserve. There's still more murals in there that I didn't have pictures, that I didn't take pictures. Well, I didn't include them here, but next time I'll do the murals and stuff so you can actually see them.
Yeah, and just the renovation of the whole building itself, keeping the building in, that's wonderful.
Yeah, because even the columns, it was really good.
Yeah.
It really
We can do
was.
that right now.
It would have been a big
Have
awesome.
it in our budget.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate the presentation.
So this project is pending a certificate of appropriateness from the Historic Commission, but I've already talked to Mr. Milan, and it will be calendared for a meeting so she can present this information to them, which I have no doubt they'll be in agreement with, because they want to see that building beautified. So thank you, Ms. Horgan.
No, thank you, Ms. Oregon, again and again. This grant is for a facade grant. Ms. Oregon, feel free to continue communicating with Ms. Guillen for other grant opportunities. I know that, you know, for this type of project, I'm sure that they'll be more than happy to help out. So again, thank you for being here today, and again, continue to stay in touch with Ms. Guillen for future grants. Okay?
Absolutely, thank you.
At this time, if there aren't any other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept this grant.
Okay, I got a motion.
I second.
Second, everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Congratulations, ma'am. And thank you for coming by. Yes,
Appreciate it.
of course. Moving on to item number 10 on the agenda, discussion and possible action to amend the fiscal year 2022-2023 EDC budget. Ms. Guillen?
Yes. So this year's budget requires an amendment to adjust for expenditures associated with the addition of 1 FTE, as well as improvements necessary for the gate signage at Basilio Villarreal Municipal Park. In your packet, you have a memo that outlines that amendment. And so what it does is it takes monies within the Community Development Fund and the Main Street Fund to make for those adjustments.
So these are monies that being moved around
From within.
from within,
Right,
not from
from
the
within.
general fund? Okay.
Correct.
Very good. Any questions? Okay, now I entertain a motion.
I so move.
Got a motion?
I'll second
And a
that.
second, got a second. There have been agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item 11, discussion and possible action to approve a professional surveying and engineering proposal from Sames Engineering for Los Velas Road improvements.
So we have a project that calls for widening Los Velas Road along the west perimeter, the east perimeter, that's incorrect, it's the east perimeter of Los Pinos Hardware property here in Rio Grande City. And we do have Sames Engineering who has provided a proposal to provide those professional services required to complete the project. The proposal cost for the engineering services, $18,270. We do have representatives of Sames here with us today to explain the scope of work. Would you like to come forward? Is there any questions for our?
Yeah, the only question I have is as far as exactly how many square feet or width or distance are we improving on this road here?
So yes, thank you for considering us for engineering and surveying services. Yeah, so based off of the scope of work, we'll be extending approximately, well, we didn't really state it here, but I believe it's going to be till the turn where the Los Velas Road turns to the property on the road.
Sí, sí.
So it's going to be more or less that area.
So that's till the end of that property, of Los Pinos property?
All along the property.
Along the property
on
line.
the east.
Yes, on the east property line.
From 83 to the end of the lot line.
Okay.
Takes a kind of a curve there at the
Yeah,
end.
exactly. Yes. Any questions regarding the proposal?
So we had discussed we would widen, add the other segment of the road. And
Yes.
of course, Mr. Leal from Los Pinos Hardware is installing the retention wall and the sidewalk to complete his portion of the project.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're engineering that other half of the road and making, going out for bids on that. Construction management of that, all of that is described in the
Yes.
scope of work.
In the scope of work.
And the cost for the services was $18,270?
Yes.
Okay.
And we do have an estimated cost for construction. This is still very preliminary, but we're looking at a little over $50,000 in the construction of that roadway.
Okay.
So we're basically just gonna add the shoulder, right?
We're adding that additional
The
piece of
additional widening.
asphalt,
Yes.
and then they're coming in with the sidewalk and the retention wall.
So is it gonna look like if is it gonna look like one piece, or we're gonna see
Like patchwork?
patchwork? That's my concern.
No, it shouldn't. It's all gonna match with the existing. It's gonna be reworked and everything.
I guess what the commissioner is saying is that the older roads
Are you
end
gonna
up
have an
more
old
faded
road and
and
a
worn
new
out
road?
compared to the new.
No.
Obviously, you'll see a difference than newer.
Yeah. No. We should be able to widen the road, and we should be able to. It should be able to match everything. So it
Is
should
there gonna be a sidewalk museum on that?
There is a sidewalk called for in their plans on that east perimeter.
Make it look pretty.
I know, because we've been driving down Eisenhower and the road is so nice and
It's
pretty
pretty,
and
yeah.
smooth, and then you get to that segment of Eisenhower where it's old and
Yeah.
not as pretty.
I'm
but-
okay.
But it's good. I have to
Yeah.
explain to a 10-year-old why the road is not neat all the way to the end, It's still a good road.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you, sir, for being here. Appreciate your input on that.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the proposal by Sames Engineering.
Okay, I got a motion. And a second? Anybody?
I second.
We got a second, Commissioner De Leon. Everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Against, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item 12 on the agenda. Discussion of possible action to approve a promotional expense for fireworks show at the 2023 Rio Grande City Freedom Fest. Ms. Guillen?
So the EDC has been a sponsor for the fireworks show at Freedom Fest every year. This year is no different, for the exception that this year's request from the city calls for us to support the entire cost of the show, which this year totals $16,000. And you do have that invoice for deposit and the total in your packet.
Very good.
And it's the same show that we have had in the past. It's the same company.
Same company, same show? Okay. Okay. Nothing different, pretty much the same stipulation, same contract, except for the price obviously went up a little bit.
Price went up $1,000.
$1,000? Okay.
How long is the show?
The show is 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Very good. Any more questions or comments at this time? I'm not entertain a motion to approve.
So, go ahead.
I so move.
Can I get a motion?
I'll second.
A second. Everyone in agreement signify by raising your right hand. Against, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item 13, discussion possible action to approve project and proposal from AEP to extend power to the Public Safety Center building. Ms. Guillen?
So the city has requested AEP to provide electrical services for the public safety building. And AEP will be extending primary and bore across 755 to serve the Public Safety Center building. The total cost for this bore is $29,337.32. You do have a copy of that agreement and cost from AEP. This will also help to serve Tractor Supply with its power needs. My understanding is that it's going to create a loop that is going to be able to provide sufficient power for not only our Public Safety Center building up north on 755, but the Tractor Supply needs as well.
And this was the best option, Ms. Guillen, as far as bringing it across 755, boring underneath the highway, as opposed to bringing it from St. Ives property?
So my understanding, I'm no engineer, but from what I have been told, there is the ability to tap into Rattler Drive, but you're going to create problems further down the road. You need to have this loop system that they're proposing. Of course, AEP, they're the experts in that industry, and this is what they're recommending.
Okay. All right. Any other comments or questions at this time? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve.
I got a motion, we got a second here. Everybody in agreement signify by raising your right hand. Against, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Item 14, discussion of possible action to approve staff and board travel request to attend ICSC Recon 2023. Ms. Guillen?
So the Conference of Shopping Centers is holding its annual retail conference this month in Las Vegas, and myself, along with members of the EDC board, will be attending the conference to meet with and recruit retailers to the city for commercial investments. There is an estimated cost for travel that includes the flights, lodging, and meals at $11,500. You have the backup material in your packet. We're recommending approval.
Okay, very good. Any more questions at this time or concerns? Not, entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Okay, I got a motion by Ms. Perez.
Second.
A second, Commissioner De Leon. Everybody in agreement signify by raising your right hand. Okay, against the same motion, motion passes. Item is approved. Moving on to item 16 on the agenda, EDC project updates. Ms. Guillen?
So are we on
Item
15?
Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Item 15, discussion of possible action to approve an MOU between RGC-EDC and UTRGV Small Business Development Center to promote business training and advising services. Ms. Guillen?
And this is an MOU that we enter into with UTRGV on an annual basis. It just outlines that we are going to work with each other to organize business workshops. And there is no cost associated with the MOU. It's just being able to provide promotional support to each other so that we're able to have these lecture series. We've had one this year. We just started the in-person lectures, and we're going to be hosting one again in May on marketing. That'll be held at the UTRGV campus here in Starr County.
How many of those do we have per year, Ms. Guillen?
With them, we schedule 4. Right now, we have we're doing it on a quarterly basis.
Okay.
So,
Very good.
but then we can add more as we see that interest grow. And there was one year where we did have a lot of these, and they were well attended. But because COVID set us back to virtual meetings and webinars and things of that nature, we're just getting back in there, and people are starting to come out. The last one we had on finance was phenomenal. I expect the marketing one to be just as great.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for the information. At this time, any more comments? I'll entertain a motion to approve item 15.
I so move.
I got a motion by Ms. Perez,
I second.
Second, Commissioner De Leon. Everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Moving on to item 16, EDC budget updates, Ms. Yen.
Yes, I'm just going to go through the summary pretty quickly. Under public infrastructure, just know that a project has been awarded to commence the work for water and sewer out to the Public Safety Center building. That started up on April 17th. There's 90 days of construction for that project. On the medical center development, those streets are about to be cut. Building plans are due to the planning office for their review, and we've already talked to the developer and construction manager to talk about the drop procedures for this project. Tractor Supply, I just mentioned that AP is going to do this bore that you just approved that will allow them to have that power. Just know they are operating on generator at the moment. They are scheduled to have a soft opening May 5th, and their grand opening is May 13th at 7:45 a.m. So be ready with your cup of coffee. And then also, I think on the last page, it's just the AP bore and Freedom Fest that I added to the list. Those are the two projects you just approved.
Very good. So a lot of projects going on, so thank you, Ms. Yen, for that update. Are there any other questions or comments? I'll entertain, well, that's just an update, so no action there.
No action.
No action. So then moving on to item 17 on the agenda, executive session, chapter 551, Texas Government Code 551.0.71, and section 551.087, section 551.072. At this time, we'll go into executive session, and it is 5:43 p.m. At this time, we reconvene from executive session. It is 6:17 p.m. Item 18, reconvene the interregulated session in consideration of action matters discussed during executive session, including the following. Letter A, no action. Letter B, no action. Letter C, no action. Letter D, no action. Item 18E, discussion of possible action regarding several legal matters.
I have a motion to approve that we reimburse expenses for our international business ambassadors we discussed in executive.
Got a motion by Ms. Perez.
Second.
Second, Mayor Villarreal. Everyone in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Against, same motion. Item passes. Item F, discussion of possible action to contract for EDC counsel.
Move to approve item F, which is legal, I don't remember the terminology, but
To approve the contract.
legal contract as discussed in executive session.
Got a motion by Mayor Villarreal.
Second.
Second, Commissioner De Leon. Everyone in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. All right, motion passes. Very well. Moving on to item 18, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Second. All right, this meeting is adjourned, and it is 6:18 p.m. Thank you very much.